Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Niki. I'm the Director of Discipleship here at English Lutheran. Welcome to English Lutheran Weekly. Today we are talking about youth and family ministry, and we are talking to Kristen Arends, our Youth and Family Director. So I invite you to ask questions as you wish, and we will answer any questions that you have, or we will find answers and get back to you. If you're watching this at a later time, feel free to put questions in the chat box, and we will watch for those and get answers to you. Mm-hmm. So welcome, Kristen. Thank you for joining me tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. My name is Kristen. My family and I live in Ettrick, Wisconsin, which is rural Wisconsin, and we're up a little past Galesville. My husband, Adam, and I have been married for 15 years, and he is a first call pastor at North Beaver Creek Lutheran Church. And then I have two kids. Anna is 12 and just finished 6th grade. Wes is 9, and he just finished 3rd grade. And you'll see them bopping around at English on occasion. They're going to be a part of BBS and some other things. So you'll get to meet them.
Very, very nice. And you came from the... what area? Boston?
Yeah. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Came from Buffalo, New York. You got it.
I knew it was a B.
Yeah, so New York State, but the western side. So I was on, Buffalo's right on Lake Erie. So.
Okay. So you started last October?
Sure did.
Was it September? Okay, October. Beginning of October. So COVID, we were like in the middle of COVID actually. Yes. So you haven't seen this place and it's full form yet of busyness and excitement for ministry and faith and all the programs that we have in full swing. So have you been able to connect with any youth because of COVID?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how well our confirmation students were attending their classes and small groups. And also I had a really loyal group that met with me on Sunday mornings on Zoom. And so we were able to play games and do Bible study and check in and do highs and lows and pray for one another all via Zoom, which was really, really cool. And also was able to do that with our high schoolers as well. Doing some game nights and just some fun activity nights on Zoom. So that's how it really started.
Okay. And I'm going to backtrack here a minute because I meant to, after your family, I meant to ask you about your job history. So, and how you got to this point. So sorry, I meant to ask you that first. So tell us about your job history and how you came to be in this position.
Okay, so it's almost like how you answered the question. I just keep getting called back to youth ministry. My first job after college, I did the Lutheran Volunteer Corps. My first volunteer/jobs were working with at-risk youth, both teenagers and then elementary students. And then I had a big move and kind of got pulled into youth ministry because I had camp experience and had been really active throughout college. So I started doing full-time youth ministry then. And I was and then my kids were really little and I thought, I should maybe take a break from this. I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And I got a job at an financial services office and then got pulled right back into doing youth ministry again, but just full-time or part-time at this church. And then even the same is true for moving to Wisconsin because I started out working in the school because that was a job that was available. And little by little, I just kept getting that pull I want to be doing youth ministry. I want to be working with kids. I want to be talking about God. And the position in English kind of came across my desk actually in a couple different ways. And I was like, what the heck? And I applied and interviewed and it from right away, it felt like a good fit and really loved the energy of the people I was interviewing with. And yeah.
So, even though we all interviewed you in masks and it's very spread apart in the fellowship hall.
Yes. And I had a mask that I should have tried on better. It was like a t-shirt material, and anytime I talked, it like sucked into my mouth. That mask went in the garbage.
But you still said, what the heck, and came here. So
Yes.
we're happy you did. We are very blessed to have you on our staff here. And I can't wait for more people to get to meet you in person.
Yeah.
So you said then that you met on Zoom. You did some Zoom. You worked with confirmation and high school, middle school youth on Zoom. So have you got to meet in person yet?
Yes. We've done a few things. We've done like kind of a regular youth night on Sunday nights here at English, like playing games and doing some devotion. We went on a really great hike a few weeks ago. I had the middle schoolers out. We did like a parking lot party in the fall with, we set up the 9 Square. We hung out and played games. And so we have been able to be doing stuff in person.
Good.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
But then it means I have to get to know what they look like when they're covered up.
Right. Right. So you can't just recognize their eyes from seeing them on Zoom periodically.
Yes.
So when do the youth usually or regularly meet, or they've been meeting on Sunday morning from middle school and Sunday night for high school?
Yeah. So in the Sunday morning is kind of on hiatus for the summer. But then the high school youth nights are usually the first and third Sunday nights here at English, with like other events peppered around. And I was doing like the fourth Sunday as a middle school youth night.
Okay. And what does that mean for a youth night? Like, what is that? If somebody hadn't been there and you'd say, well, come to youth night, what would I say? They say, what do you do? Do you have to sit and just like talk about God the whole time?
Yes. No. I try to have like a theme when I do youth nights. So like if we're talking about community, we'll do some sort of game or activity that like means that like you have to work together in some way, and then have a Bible verse or Bible story that kind of connects with that theme. So I try to like have an activity. I always try to start with icebreakers so that people get a chance to get to know each other, and it just is like silly and fun. And then some sort of activity to get us thinking about whatever the Bible verse or story is, and then like a short 10, 15 minute like devotional time where we kind of talk about the story and what that really means for our lives right now today as teenagers, and how we can live that out, how we can live out God's word in the world. And then we end with just like playing games and hanging out.
Cool. So it sounds like it's a pretty open place. you can ask questions. You can, it's non-judgmental space of just be who you are, be where you're at in your faith journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yes.
Good. It sounds fun. And what time is that on? Is that going to run during the summer on Sunday nights?
Yes. I'm going to continue it on Sunday nights in the summer.
Okay.
Just so we have the consistency.
Right.
Just check the calendar to make sure you've got the dates, because like the 4th of July is the first Sunday, so we probably won't do it that night.
Right. What do you have plans?
I don't, but other people might.
Awesome. So you have a youth steering committee. Each of our we have several different committees that run underneath the vision board, and you have a youth steering committee. And so that consists of parents and students. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. I work here and I know, but I'm supposed to be asking you questions, so I'm sounding like I don't know.
Would you like me to tell you about it?
Tell me about the youth steering committee. What is that?
The youth steering committee has been immensely helpful to me this year. Like they've just been fabulous, because they're like a smaller group. We try to have 2 students from each high school grade level, and we'll be recruiting our 9th graders and our 10th graders right now, to get them on board. And so the parents are good, like go-to people to help say like, oh, that weekend might be bad for families because this, and this, or, oh, I can help with this part of this activity. Or so it's good to have like the parent involvement so that they have some ownership and know what's going on and ways that they can help. And then the kids really help with brainstorming and setting up and even helping to like lead events for younger students. And they've been like, I'll throw out ideas like, what do you think about this? And then like, no, I don't think people are going to want to do that. Okay, great. What are they going to want to do? I just brought up camping and like roughing it. And I was like, but it would be at a place that doesn't have running water, but it's only for one night. And she was like, nope, no one's going. Okay.
Okay, shoot that idea. That's really neat, though, to have the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, a couple representatives from each grade to have input in what the youth are doing. There's different perspectives on, just at the different age levels.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So is the youth steering committee, you guys kind of do you have any plans for this summer?
Yes. We are, I'm still working on the camping idea, but maybe going to adjust it, look for some other locations. But we really want to do like a youth and family movie night. Here at church, we got a big blow up screen, and then we can pull out our popcorn makers and do like an outdoor movie. Yeah. And then we're going to do, since we weren't able to do a mission trip this summer, which I know that's so important to the families and people at English Lutheran. And I just love that people here have such a heart for service. But so since that's not working out, I'm setting up once a week service projects, and some of them will be done that we can do right here on site at church. Some of the ones will be going out into the community to do it, and at various times during the week. So I didn't want to plan it for like every Monday night if you know that your child always has baseball every Monday night or whatever it may be. So it'll be bopped around at different times. So hopefully kids can make it to more than one over the course of the summer. But we started finding dates and plugging that in. So
good. So if anyone has suggestions about service projects in our area that youth could do, either bringing it to our church or going on site somewhere, they could contact you or the church office and let them know.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous.
Good. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that there is in our congregation. I think that there is a heart for service here and for giving back. Yeah, and that's one thing I appreciate about this congregation. Yeah. So again, I just want to remind anybody popping in to listen that if you have any questions, put them in the chat, and we will be sure to answer them. And thank you for joining us. We continue our conversation with Kristen, our youth and family director. So you said that we've had mission trips and youth. What kind of mission trip experience or youth gathering experience do you have? Have you done or organized them, and what do you see?
I've done mission trips I've done them a couple different ways. Like some is just like a weekend and some as full week long. And so one that I really liked we would go into Chicago, and students had to really figure out how to navigate being in an urban setting, which we were in a suburban church at the time. And so it was kind of a learning experience to figure out what being in an urban area was like. But we did a lot of work with homeless population and feeding hungry people. And we did things like reverse scavenger hunt, where it was like, you're not finding these things, but you have to give away these things somehow in the course of your day.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
It was really cool. And we'd break up into small groups in the city and come back together at the end of the night and be like, what happened? How did you experience it? And there was a really cool moment once with a student who we had like an extra sandwich left over from lunch. And she was like, I'm going to give this to somebody. Somebody's going to need this sandwich. And it had like been with her through the whole day. And she was like getting stressed out about the fact that she hadn't given someone this sandwich yet. And like we were on the subway on our way home, and somebody like walked on and just happened to say like, does anyone have anything to eat? And she was like, I have a sandwich.
I love that idea. I want to implement that into my family vacation this summer. My kids are going to love you. List of things and give that to them. I think that's great.
It was really cool.
Yes.
And lots of conversations we had about like privilege and all the things. And we even did that within our own city sometimes. Like we would like go to one of the churches that was right in downtown Buffalo and kind of tried to recreate it in our own area. Another mission trip. Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Did to go to, we worked with, I can't think of the Lutheran disaster response after Hurricane Katrina. That's dating me, maybe. So I think we ended up being there like a year and a half, I think, after the hurricane had come through. But there was so much devastation that many people were still really in the midst of repairing. And the great thing about Lutheran disaster response is they stay in an area to keep working with people long term. So we were able to go down and we helped this man named James like gut his house and put up new drywall. And we had a group of like 15 of us, and we just worked in this one site the whole week with this man James and helped him rebuild his house. That was really great.
Wow. What about National Youth Gathering? Have you ever been to one? I know we have one coming up next summer, right?
That is right. Yeah, I was able to go to 2 when I was a youth, and then I've led groups to 2 different ones. So I went to the last one in Houston and the one before that in Detroit. I took groups to those. And I'm excited.
We passed each other in Detroit.
Yeah.
Because I took our youth to Detroit. Yeah.
You did?
I did. Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
So we probably passed each other at one point, or maybe we even sat by each other. You never know.
I know. There were only 30,000 other people in the building.
I know. I'm looking forward to my daughter attending next year to the National Youth Gathering. It's just such an amazing experience for everyone. And I know that we put together a video, which probably now is going to be, I mean, with video technology that has come such a long way, it's probably going to look very funny. But it was just, interviewing each student that went and the adults on what was your takeaway? What was your favorite part? And just to promote that, because it was so amazing. And just talking to those kids at the time, it was just amazing time.
I know.
It's a series of service projects, and I mean, there's a lot of components to it.
Mm-hmm. And I love when teenagers can like walk into this football stadium and realize like, oh my gosh, there's all of these other people that believe the way that I believe and want to make a difference in the world. And it's so cool.
Yeah. I'll just start working on my daughter now to see if I can go as a chaperone. It's just so fun. So I know that it's, you're fairly new to English Lutheran. I mean, I guess you're really not new anymore, but I mean, you're new to some of the faces because we're starting to see actual people again in our building. What's been your biggest challenge? Is it communication? Is it, what's one of your biggest challenges with the youth so far?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit communication, like youth ministry is built on relationships, and until we're together some way, it's hard to build a relationship. And so I think that's been hard, is like knowing the best way to get word out about what's going on and what people might want to do. I think we'll just open up a lot and be a lot easier when I'm able to track people down on Sunday mornings and say, hey, this is what's happening. You should come to it. That and matching parents to kids. Like I can't remember parents' names because I met all the kids individually.
Right. I know I used to joke about, I know you if you have children. I mean, could tell you your name if you have children. But sometimes if you didn't have a children in a program, like, okay, I know you're a member, but sometimes I had to take a second to think, I know who everybody is, but just knew those better. So go ahead.
Embracing the awkward on Sunday morning, just like, if there's a family and it looks like they have a young person, like, hey, I don't know if we've met yet.
And you're just like, here I come.
Trying to be enthusiastic, but not overwhelming.
Right. So now, what do you like to do? Like, so now that we can start to kind of meet in person, and if you start to reach out to some of our youth and invite them to something, if somebody wanted to get to know you, so are you like a coffee person, an ice cream person? Do they have to know about chickens?
I prefer if people only balk to me.
So Kristen has chickens.
Yes, I do.
A way to connect with Kristen is to talk about her chickens.
Yes. I also have cats if you don't have your own chickens. And you
Okay.
One of the students and I both have cats named Oreo.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So what are you more likely to do? Like, hey, I'm going to call Kristen and see if she wants to go out for a cup of coffee or ice cream, or what's your...
Do I have to choose between coffee and ice cream?
No. But like we had a vicar Eric loved Skittles. I mean, you could get him to do anything for Skittles. Is there something like you would be like, oh yeah, I'm there?
I really like iced chai. And
okay.
So that, or I'd be our staff. I was interested in our staff's discussion about who had the best ice cream. So in town. So maybe doing a little taste test around town.
Yeah, that would be good. Mm-hmm. So how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on, you can text me or email me. You call me here at the office. You can pop in. I'm going to try to do like office hours this summer too. So if kids are home or want to just stop by and be like, hey, let's go for a walk. Or I really like being outside, going on hikes, or biking too. I just need to know so I can bring my bike down. So yeah, email, text, those are great ways you can call. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Snapchat, but I hardly use it.
Okay. And if you have a suggestion on how would be a better way to get a hold of Kristen, students, high schoolers, say, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to teach Kristen how to be on this or be on this.
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited about our youth programming coming up, and you have so many ideas when we're at a staff meeting or, quarterly planning. You just have so many great ideas, and I'm just excited talking to you. And I hope that the youth and families are receptive to you and continue to welcome you here, because you bring a different element of excitement and fun. Thanks to the staff and to our programming. So I'm very excited about that. Do you have anything you want to add about our youth programs or anything coming up? You're going to be you're actually going to work with PAC too. We can't forget PAC.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about that a minute?
Sure. I'm really excited. You have to teach me how to play Sandman. I looked up directions, but I know each place has their own version. I was telling Niki earlier that in my churches in Buffalo, we always played sardines. That was like the big game everybody wanted to play. So I'm excited to get on board with Sandman. And PAC will be happening like once a month, usually towards the end of the month. There's just like a couple, there's always the outlier. VBS is coming up. I'll be helping with that. And we've got a lot of our high schoolers and confirmation students helping with that. So if you want to jump in and be involved, let us know. We got a lot going on.
So PAC is it's for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and that is, we named it PAC. It's I remember the year we named it PAC. I was looking for a name when we first started it, and this group of kids were really wanting to name something after the Packers or the Vikings, but like we can't name it some kind of Packer thing or some kind of Viking thing. So we did come up with a PAC, but it's an acronym. So it's pre-confirmation activities at church for kids. So at least we could make an acronym out of the Packers. So that was the Philip Hartfield year, and Alex Knabel I can't think of who else was in that class, but they were the sixth graders at the time that got to come up with the name. So that's where the name came from. So.
Should I make all the like advertising, like flyers and everything green and gold then?
I don't think you should. Because what about the Viking fans?
You're right. I'm going to isolate some people.
Right. That's why we had to come up with an acronym for it. Because it was really a class of Packer fans and no Vikings. So we had to come up with that. But it's been a successful program for many years here at English, because that is a program that we started to connect kids in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So they were used to being in a confirmation and getting to know kids in the class before them and after them. And because where we are at our church, the kids come from so many different schools, and only seeing each other once a week, it gave them an opportunity to play together and be together in this faith, in this faith community, and communicate and learn about different people that they're seeing just once in a while. So it's been fun. All right. Anything else you would like to add about our youth program?
No, I don't.
That kind of says it all. What's happening now? Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Would you like to say a prayer?
Oh, sure.
To close? Okay.
Okay. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for the people of English Lutheran Church, for their welcoming presence, even when we could not be physically present together. Thank you for all of the kids and the youth in this place. May we come together and get to know one another and have fun and mostly just learn about you and grow closer to you. And be with those that are not a part of this place yet, but that will be joining us in the future through youth programs or whatever else we've got going on. Be with each of us this night. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, next week, we are going to be talking about discipleship. We're going to be talking about what our upcoming Sunday school year looks like, confirmation, the programs that we offer for adult programming, looking for some ideas, and just how we're forming our, the discipleship is the learning part of our faith here. And so we're going to be talking to a member of the Discipleship Council and just talking through, what's happening in that area and what we're looking at for next year in the area of Sunday school confirmation and adult education. So we hope you will join us next week to talk about that. All right. Well, thank you again, Kristen, and thank you all for joining us. And like I said earlier, if you have any questions about youth and family ministry here, then please be sure to put your questions in the comment section, and we will watch for those throughout the week. And we thank you for joining us. All right. Have a great week.
You too.